Hi, good evening. Welcome to another installation of another fantastic 5-minute interview. My guest tonight is Mr. Dex Elliott. My name is Ernesto Rodriguez, Chief Consultant, JAE Consultant. Dex come to us via several platforms. One, he's an artist, actor. One, he's an activist. 2, 3, and he's an entrepreneur. I can't wait to get into this conversation. Dex, for those who are not familiar with you and know your background, can you tell us a little bit about you and your little journey?
Okay. Dex Elliott Sanders, go by Dex Elliott. And I'm an actor, like you said, my brother Ernesto. I'm an actor, director, writer, producer, activist, first and foremost, revolutionary. I basically started acting back in the 80s. I've been a SAG member since '89. And my journey, it's changed over the years now more so. Even when I started, it was about the message. I came into the business with that mind frame, and it was kind of awkward because most people look at me like I was crazy. I would be at auditions talking to brothers about real life, and I made a lot of good connections, and I probably rubbed some people the wrong way. But I've maintained that mentality throughout because I feel like it's not about just being on a TV screen. It's about what are you doing with these platforms.
That's right.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, man. And I know you've been in it for a while. So what made you get into the film business? And and you can elaborate also and talk a little bit about your entrepreneurship. Where made you get into that? And obviously, this deep desire for change is in you. So I think you were born an activist.
Real, true.
About that, what made you get into those fields?
I mean, the acting thing, it kind of it was organic. At the time when I was in college, I had a scholarship for basketball, and full ride scholarship for basketball, played point guard. And I was an athlete, always very active, very passionate about sports, and trying to find my calling in life. And I felt a calling at that time. What I thought was to be in the ministry, to be a preacher.
Wow.
And after years of I grew up in a certain neighborhood when I was younger. I was involved in gangs. Unfortunately, a lot of us young brothers get caught up in the environment, and I got caught up to a degree in that. But even when I was in that lifestyle, it was more so, they used to clown me. It was like an ongoing joke. They used to call me the Christian Crip. And they used to use that word Christian Crip because of my stand. I didn't smoke weed, I didn't drink. I was even straight up telling cats, I'm gonna wait till I get married to have sex. It was like, what you do? The hell is wrong with this dude?
And you got it in California, right?
This is in California.
Put it in context, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. So I had this kind of like discipline about myself, and it was about the sports that really kept me. I looked up to Sugar Ray Leonard, who I ended up working with years later, and real Muhammad Ali and these athletes, just like that kind of like that discipline really always appealed to me. So smoking and drinking was out of the question for me, and so that led to like after college, I went into the ministry and then actually used to preach and traveled and preached as a young minister for a minute. And realized that wasn't what that seemed like the obvious direction because I was feeling like I wanted to make a difference. Right. I worked at boys' homes. I worked at an autistic. I ran an autistic home for young adults. I was just trying to save the world. That's what my mentality was. It was just wanting to make a difference, right? And then my best friend got murdered. So years after, after me moving, my parents moved me out of the neighborhood to save my life, and my best friend ended up being murdered. And that also had a major impact on my life, as far as continuing on the journey of just being positive and making a difference and not following the crowd. He got caught up to the utmost power, and it took his life.
Sorry for the loss.
Yeah. And it's something I carry with me heavy. Even though he passed away years ago, over 30 years ago, it's still a real feeling for me. And it's something that keeps me passionate about trying to save these young brothers, or trying to at least put out information or plant seeds in these young brothers today to make a better choice. Because we don't have enough brothers that really look back. Fathers are in prison. So many of our brothers are in prison with these bullshit laws and cases. They can't raise their kids, and not that they don't want to. A lot of them really want to. This idea that we don't want to is a bunch of BS. And but there's a lot that want to, but because there a lot of them are not present, I feel like we have to step up. The brothers that are here, that are free to think about these brothers and try to, a word here, word there, means something. So I really make a point of doing that. But so I ended up getting into acting by kind of just hanging out and being with friends that were actors. And I went to an audition with a friend of mine. I knew it was in me. Don't get me wrong. I was very creative. I was always writing stuff and making music and
doing. You was rapping even back then.
Yeah, so it was in me. I knew something. Knew I was creative. I just didn't know what it really meant. And so I went to audition one time with a friend of mine, and his agent said, "What about you? Are you an actor?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "You have a good look. I think you have a presence about you. I think you should let me send you out." I was like, "Cool." And ended up signing with that agency. It was a commercial agency. I ended up booking role after role after role, and my boy who was pursuing it was looking at me like, "Well, damn, I'm not booking nothing." And that led to me getting a theatrical agent. I ended up booking a soap opera. I ended up telling you, like, I booked one. I was actually the original pick for Ricky, Boys in the Hood. I turned that down because I booked the soap opera, 3-year contract on One Life to Live at the exact same time. And my agent, stupid ass agent at the time, told me to pick the soap opera because it was a 3-year contract over the role of Ricky, because Boys in the Hood was just a small little movie.
Right.
We
was looking at longevity, right?
Right. And in reality, it was a small little movie, and John Singleton was an unknown, and we had no clue what it was going to be. So he was pushing for the sure thing, and the sure thing ain't always the best thing, but it was meant for me to do what I did. And it's a funny story.
Well, no doubt, it brought you here, right?
Yeah.
Talking about since the 80s.
Yeah, that was it. It's been a minute, man. Yeah.
So with that said, so I mean that's a long time, bro. What changes and trends have you seen over the years, in that time, in that space of time?
Man, tremendous. The changes are like mind blowing. You know what I mean? It's like a whole nother world. I mean, with technology, with the internet, with all these different social media, it's like it's another world. Back then, it was like a lot of, everything was a real time. So you never had the option of, doing what we're doing here and having these outlets. We didn't have that. People now can become world renowned in the living room and never even connect with the industry people and have people chasing them. So a lot of us old school cats that started out, I use the word old school, a lot of us original cats that started out with an older format.
Right.
It took a lot of us time to adjust to this new way of doing things, because we're used to going to an audition, going in the room, meeting with the producers. Now you do it, via, self-tape, and I had to adjust. I recently just signed with the theatrical manager. That was off for a long time. And she asked me, she wanted to represent me. I said, why not? So I'm back in the game. I'm actually auditioning again.
Good.
But it's a completely different world.
Looking forward to seeing you on the big screen. So with that said, what do you think makes for the best kind of actors?
I personally feel like people that are, for one, you have to know yourself, as an actor. People, in order to be all these other people, you got to know who you are first. You have to have a personal connection with these characters and these people that you're playing, and make them to make them human and make them grounded in something that's real. It's not just about trying to showcase and do these lines. No, it's a spiritual thing, and you really can, it's a connection. And with that connection, you can change people's lives. Unfortunately, in Hollywood, even to this day, it's gotten a lot better, but the roles have always been pretty much one-dimensional for a lot of Black actors, and especially me coming from my era. It was like a lot of just, the gangbanger roles and, this role. It was like, it wasn't these three-dimensional characters that you see a lot of the Caucasian actors get. So now the beautiful thing about now is, we're writing, and I wish I would have been writing back then. I remember people talking about writing, but writing is the #1 important factor for any actor that's coming into business. Be a writer. Don't just be a creator. Don't just be someone who's in front of the camera. Create your own content, because you can tell people exactly who you are and not wait for them to tell you who you are. Show them who you are. And then that way you're setting yourself up to be exactly how you see yourself in this business, and not letting them dictate you're going to be a thug, you're going to be this kind of character. No, you can be all those things and more, because you showcasing that.
Exactly. I like that. And that's empowering right there. So, as one of the best actors that you are,
Thanks, man.
you go through a lot, right? How do you best deliver the best acting to the viewers that are out there watching?
Yeah, once again, I think it's about that connection,
A connection, right?
being really understanding who this person is you're playing,
Mhm.
their backstory, how did they get to where they got to. It's like you have to really do a lot of times, a lot of preparation and putting that time into figuring out who this person is what gives a character a real feeling that people can really.
You got to do the research.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to do the research.
And a lot of it's creating your own backstory because it might not be on the paper, but it's up to you as an actor to bring that backstory to that character in order to bring that substance. And then and that's what a director or producer and these people look for. Someone that's going to bring something a weight to the character, not just have it be just a surfacey lines off paper.
Yeah, they can teach a monkey to do that.
Exactly.
Jump right here. Exactly. And
a lot of with me is like, my life is based on realism. It's like keeping it 100 and not ever holding your tongue and not compromising. So to bring that to the table is easy to me. It's like, that's what I do. Anything less, I'm like, I'm not really with it anyway.
Right.
And I'm not trying to, you can offer me $20 million to do a role for, say, wearing a dress. This is something I'll bring that topic up. You can't pay me. There's no amount of money that I'm going to wear a dress. That's just who I am.
Exactly. Your brand is your brand.
Yeah, exactly. If a brother chooses to wear that dress, that's on them. But that's not what I'm going to do. I don't do that. That type of thing. So it's about having integrity, character, knowing exactly who you are and what you want to portray, and knowing and not selling out no matter what it is.
Yes, no doubt. That's so important, man. A lot of brothers will, got their eyes on that money, and lose sight of and you kind of touched a lot on it about integrity, about, having a spiritual connection, doing your research and all that. Can you elaborate a little more in terms of what advice would you give someone coming into the industry today? And this is because you see where it was when you first came in and how it changed and the changes, right? But now we're here now, so the game is different. So what advice would you give someone coming into the game today?
Yeah, just don't be an actor. Like me personally, like acting is just something I do. I mean, I take it very, very serious, but I'm a director, I'm a writer, I'm a producer, I'm a creator, I'm an artist. That's how I really see myself. Everyone doesn't wear all those different hats, but I think it's important to always add to what you do, another aspect of what you do to complement what you do. And I think writing is something that every actor should do, or dibble and dabble in, or be connected with other writers that maybe you have a team that you're creating content. Don't think like don't be someone that's just expendable. Be a product that can't be denied because you put the time in to make sure, look, this is something you need. You can't just not expendable, because you built a team of people and you work with people to make sure that you have something that is unique and that is to be taken serious. So, do your homework, be dedicated, be passionate, don't do anything for money, do it because you love it, do it because you can't do anything else, that you can't live without doing this, whatever it is that you choose to do, that you'll regret the rest of your life not pursuing that.
Don't do it, right?
Yeah, and definitely, like I said, it's not about money, it's not about fame. And if you're in it with that intention, personally, your chances of really reaching a certain goal is far to none. But even if you reach that goal, you're not going to be happy, because if that's what you're looking for, that's an empty existence. A lot of people, you've seen major superstars commit suicide, and drug overdose, and the list goes on, because it's not about that. Fame is just, there's nothing to that. It's fleeting, so
that quick.
Yeah, do have a purpose. Know why you're doing what you do. Me personally, it's like, I know this is another way to reach people, and it's a blessing that I love it.
Yes.
What I mean? But it's a way to really communicate ideas and thoughts, and we have power. This is the thing about Black actors and Black people in entertainment. When this whole game started, white people knew exactly what it was. They created this industry, right? So they know the power of images. They know the power of storytelling, how it influences and shapes society. So they've done a whammy on us using this very tool, telling stories that degrade us, putting images out that degrade us, doing things that don't empower us, because they know that this tool can do the opposite. in the right hands, you can make young boys think Black pride is cool. You can make
That's
young
right.
boys pull their damn pants up. You can make young girls think that being a hoe and a slut is not sexy. You know what I mean? Like so many of these young girls say, like I think the young girl, what's her name, Amber Rose, they're proud sluts and all this kind of mentality. If you have, images and that challenge those images, challenges those ideologies, in a strong, positive, powerful way, you're going to get results from that. You're going to get people that think according to those images. So I know that now, and I knew it then, but knowing it now, knowing that we have, these iPhones, you can shoot a whole movie with an iPhone. You don't need a big elaborate camera setting. You can do
Exactly.
use whatever you have to tell your story and to make your impact, and then don't compromise. Say exactly what you want to say. If you're going to make an independent project, which you should do, actors and producers and writers and directors, do your own content. Say exactly what you want to say. Don't write some shit that Hollywood would write. Oh, this has to be like, I'm going to follow this format. No, why are you even doing it then?
Exactly.
Did Picasso get a paintbrush and say, well, I'm going to follow and do it just like, no, they do their own. They're doing something that came straight from their soul. And that's what's going to make a difference. It might shake up some stuff. It might scare some people. That's good. Scare some people. People need to be scared. Because right now, people, they're comfortable in some old bullshit. Scare them into reality.
Nothing's going to change unless you do that. Right?
Art should be scary. Art should be dangerous. Art should be uplifting. Art should be powerful. Art should be provocative. All those things. Like, it should be a real passionate based thing that motivates you to do this.
Without a doubt. So brothers and sisters who are out there interested in getting into the field, what I'm hearing, don't just be a writer or just don't be an actor. Be all of it. Be the writer, the actor, director, producer, create your own content, this is how we create generational knowledge and we pass it on. We need images out there. So thank you for what you do, brother. Here's the last question. This is the one that's crispy. Obviously, when we pass away, we can leave money to our kids and, the next generation. We can leave a house, we can leave insurance and all that. We couldn't leave any of that. We leave just 3 principles for succeeding in life, or even as an actor, an activist, entrepreneur. What 3 principles of those being why?
It's a good question. Always be disciplined, dedicated, and follow your passion, no matter how crazy it seems. Because you only have one life to live, and if you do something that you're not fully passionate about to make other people feel like you're making a good choice, you're not going to ever be a happy person on this planet. I would rather have a little money or no money and live my passion and live my purpose than do something that's going to just bring money in and make me look like I'm successful when inside I'm miserable. So follow your passion, be disciplined, and be uncompromising about whatever it is you choose in life. Don't let anyone talk you out of it, and just stay true to yourself.
3 powerful.
That's probably more than 3.
That's all right, though. They're powerful, man. We need it. Obviously, this 5 minutes or whatever time we've taken here is not long enough to do this. So, I'm going to have you back, right? So we can talk more about the activism and the entrepreneur side of the music. You're just full of talent, brother. I really enjoyed it. I learned something from you today, and every time we communicate outside of this forum. So thank you. This brings us to our close. Again, my name is Ernesto Rodriguez, the Chief Consultant for JAE Consulting. My special and exciting guest, Mr. Dex Elliott. Dex, for those who want to get in touch with you, how can they reach you and learn more about how to get into the business or just about you itself?
Yeah, so you can because we're in modern technology, you can follow me on Facebook, Dex Elliott on Facebook, also on Instagram, Dex Elliott 1 on Instagram, DexElliott and 1 on Instagram, and YouTube. All of those mediums. My clothing line's Revolutionary Threads.
Yes.
.com, revolutionarythreads.com. Ernesto has been a supporter of it. I truly appreciate it.
You got me some.
And
that's right.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty easy to find, I guess. With all this technology, and I'm definitely open to talk to people. I'm open to build with positive, like-minded people. I'm blessed to meet brothers like Ernesto. Even when I first saw him with my man, my man,
Dwayne. Dwayne Ross.
my man D Ross. You know, it's like just you know, good brothers connecting and vibing and feeling that energy. You know, we're all part of that same tribe, man. And it's a blessing to just connect and iron sharpen iron, because we need that more than ever. We need to show examples of us united, you know, and building each other up and supporting each other.
Yeah.
So whatever you need, I'm here, bro.
Appreciate the love. We're gonna make that the last word. Thank you, Dex, again. All our viewers, thank you for listening in. We see you at the next episode of another fantastic 5-minute interview. Until then, God bless, take care, and see you the next time. Good night.
Good.